up, y'all? It's the Normies coming at you a little bit. Subs versus dubs. The definitive answer of which one is better, subs or dubs. We're the Normies.
We're the Normies.
This time we are doing none other than the homie and spoilers if you're not caught up. Rest in peace, Nanami.
Yes.
Nanami.
Daddy Nanami. He's here.
So, Serge, subs versus dubs is your invention. Why don't you tell us what it's about?
Well, we are the authorities of the internet, and we are now going to decide whether or not the sub voice actor or the dub voice actor for Nanami did a better job, based solely on our subjective opinions.
Nice. And subs is short for subtitles, and dubs is also short for dub titles.
We're judging it on a loose criteria known as deep. Normie's getting deep here. Dialogue, energy and emotion, personality.
Nice.
All of it is pretty subjective, guys. And, you know, obviously we watch it in the sub, so we may be predisposed this video to the sub, but we do our best to give it a fair shake. If you've seen any of our other videos, we give them a fair shake. The other side's always going to be upset when we pick the other, but this is how it goes, man.
That's just how it goes.
We watch 4 scenes typically, and we watch them both in the sub and then in the dub. Sometimes we mix up the order, so we watch the dub first and then the sub. But after the 4 scenes, we discuss which one we particularly liked, each of us, and then we'll kind of rule between the 4 of us which one is better. At the very end, we tally which one we favored more. And that is how we decide for the internet, once and for all, verbatim. Who's
Normies decide, and it's for everybody. You cannot argue with us after this. This is it. Our Nanami Japanese voice actor, Kanjuro Suda.
Kento Suda. I just love that name. It rolls off the tongue.
And I have been, for some reason, Instagram has been giving me clips of him voice acting, and boy, he gets into it. And his last scene, when he does last scene and he says goodbye, it's like so emotional.
Are you smitten?
I am so smitten.
I would love to see more behind the scenes of Japanese voice actors and actresses, because I feel like I only ever see English done behind the scenes.
Maybe it exists out there. We gotta go find it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I need to see more of that.
I've only been seeing Japanese voice actor, and just seeing them how they get into it. Like I saw Yuji Itadori's doing voice actor, and when he's like screaming, and the voice actor is actually on the floor and doing same thing. So that's why I was like, when we do One Piece read along, we should have the other mic so we can get into it as well. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this is what he looks like.
Nice. Tell us about him.
He's age 52, born in Osaka, Japan. He's a Japanese actor, voice actor, and film director.
Woo!
In 2017, when Keiji Fujiwara, that's a voice actor for Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist, and Peoria from Hunter x Hunter, was recovering from illness, Suda took charge as substitute actor for a few roles. One for those of Hans in Attack on Titan. Hanasa! He's done so much work that this needed to be in the summary, just to kind of give you, because other notable roles.
Hit me with them notable roles.
Notable roles.
Ooh.
He's Overhaul, My Academia.
Nice.
Saki.
Kishiba, Chainsaw Man.
Ooh.
Ripper Doc in Cyberpunk Edge Runner.
Nice.
And Imperial Wrath of Gods in 7 Deadly Sins. English voice actor, David Vincent.
What a buddy.
Yes, he's done a lot of work.
I like his bald head.
Well, you're a fan?
I am.
What you got under there?
Some hair.
Hey,
Not a ton.
It's David Vincent.
It's David Vincent. David Vincent, American voice actor, voice director who provides voices for animation, anime, and video games.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
He has done guest star appearances on hit TV shows. David is a lead talent behind a virtual signing platform, Streamily. So it's something similar to Cameo, but when you sign it, they will record the video of signing it. So it's actually a virtual signing.
Nice.
And he's like, the lead talent. Notable roles. He's a Grimjaw in
Grimjaw Jaggerjacks.
I know. I when I found out, I was like, I cannot wait for us to do this.
That is cool.
It's so wild.
That's our Grimjaw.
I know. Nanami's a Grimjaw in the Senketsu Kill la Kill.
Yo!
He's Gozu and Tokugawa in Mob Psycho 100.
He's the voice of a... Oh, you guys haven't seen Kill la Kill?
No.
It's a spoiler for the first episode. He's the voice for the fucking uniform.
Oh, okay. He's done the video games. He's a Richter Belmont.
Let's go, Richter!
The
Richter!
Dracula Chronicles. And he's Lee Jinke.
Okay,
In
nice.
Code Geass.
I have to hear him in a video game.
I know. What does Richter sound like in a video
Right,
game?
I need to know what he
He
sounds
doesn't sound like.
He does a lot of video games, but this was the only one that I felt like we will know.
Yeah.
So I was like, hold this one.
Nice.
That
It's actually...
you knew.
The I knew.
We're super deep into we're like peak Grimjaw right now, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's kind of tight that we're getting to
Maybe
be
he's
able to
dead?
listen. I mean, maybe we're gonna see, but Grimjaw
Really?
just had a big old come up, was a sexy cat for a while there, and I'm excited.
So we're very familiar with both actors' work on various different things.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start scene 1 off, and this is Nanami's first introduction in the series. Let's do it.
まずは挨拶でしょう。はじめまして、虎杖くん。
あ、はい。はじめまして。
私が高専で学び気づいたことは、呪術師はクソということです。そして一般企業で働き気づいたことは、労働はクソということです。
そうなの？
同じクソならより適性のある方を。出戻った理由なんてそんなもんです。
暗いね。
虎杖君、私と五条さんが同じ考えとは思わないでください。私はこの人を信用しているし信頼している。でも尊敬はしてません。上のやり口は嫌いですが、私はあくまで規定側です。話が長くなりましたね。要するに、私もあなたを術師として認めていない。スクナという爆弾を抱えていても、己は有用であるとそう示すことに尽力してください。
We should greet each other first. Nice to meet you, Itadori.
Oh, yes. Nice to meet you too.
I went to your school too, and there I learned one thing. Jujutsu sorcerers suck!
Huh?
Then I went to work for a typical company and learned something there too. That having to work for a living sucks.
Really?
So if both suck equally, then I'll go with the one I like better. The fact is, that's the only reason I came back.
That's dark. Right?
Now, Itadori, you should understand that I'm not at all the same mindset as Gojo here. I do trust him and have great faith in his powers and abilities. But I have no respect for him! Huh? I may hate the way higher-ups do things, but I still believe in rules and regulations. This conversation's dragging on. The point is, I don't recognize you as a sorcerer either. But even if you are just a vessel for the time bomb we know as Sukuna, I'm hoping you can prove yourself to be useful.
Wow, this one's interesting.
I want to clarify that we are coming as to this topic as like English speakers. We should start clarifying that and sub v dub. So English is our native language, clearly, for most of us. And
the suck part was amazing.
We always recommend to watch both the sub and the dub. You know, at different times. If you're going to rewatch the series, watch it in your native language. That being said, I'm saying sub for this one.
Dude, it was so much funnier. I don't know why. Like in the dub, like I don't know, just had a little bit more seriousness in the air. But in the sub, I was just like laughing. I don't know. It was just so funny. Suck this, suck that, and like I don't recognize you. And the tone is so different.
So you think
did you say it back? Because I think it was more serious in the sub. Like I feel like the dub, he kind of has this like it feels like a rebellious young adult type of vibe. Where it's like this sucks, like work sucks, which is funny, but.
Dub, that's what I meant. Dub.
I see Nanami as like more stern than that, or like where he's like, "Jujutsu sorcerers are shit." Like I don't know, it just seems like more of a hard truth than him like being complainy.
Yeah, let me rephrase. In the dub, it's more funny and more silly, and in the sub, there's more hint of seriousness.
Which one are you going for?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm trying to analyze the situation here and Nanami. Like, is it supposed to be funny? Is it supposed to be like more serious?
I mean, I see Nanami as a serious character, but it's just like when he's saying a seriousness, it's just coming off funny to us. It's like, that's what you thought. That's why you picked sorcerers, because you thought the other one also sucked. So you just picked one that sucked less. Like, okay, fair. Like, he's just but I picked sub for this one. Just because like it does seem more serious for him to saying it, while like Gojo and usually like, damn, that's dark. Like he's actually taking this seriously. Like, are we serious about this? But yeah, I pick sub.
I'm gonna pick sub strictly for the close-up scene. I think it's a little more emotional. I think it hits a little harder, and then it makes the juxtaposition between them talking shit off to the side funnier.
Yeah. When
he seems more serious, he's like, it's shit, and like work shit, and like I don't know. So yeah, I think sub hits a little harder, especially in the close-up scene.
Yeah, and maybe in the dub, like I'd be curious to hear what the dub sounds like in that scene where he has old dude by the hair and he's like mean mugging like that. I want to hear dub sound angry as him, just to see like what that's like, even though we've heard angry Green Jow a lot.
So
sub for this one.
Probably sub.
Because Brenna hasn't picked.
No, sub, because like dub. No, like again, the dub was just so funny and the tones are so different. And I think what the situation calls for right now is not to be that playful, because like now you're going like, and work sucks and I hate suck, and you know what, this sucks too. Like the tone is so vastly different.
I have also feel like every time we do these, the first video, we always pick the one that we have been watching because it's our first bias that shows up, right? Like immediately we heard dub, it's like, oh, that sounds different. That sounds weird. You're getting to know.
I heard him in dub first because I remember I caught up, so I watched all in dub first. So for me, Nanami sounds like he sounds there.
I watched it in dub first too. It's just hearing it juxtaposition to next to the dub voice actor sub voice actor. It just always the first one always sounds different. But it will get better.
In this scene, like this is our first impression of Nanami. Like I don't feel like he's that kind of character. Now if in the dub they play him more like that and there's consistency, then that's fine. That's like the dub version's consistency. But as for like most of us, we're like, no, Nanami he's kind of serious. He hates working overtime, but he's kind of serious. And I don't know. I didn't quite get that with the dub.
Yeah. Right. But we know David Vincent can get serious. We know Grimjaw.
Yeah, but we're going to move on to scene 2. This is where Nanami explains his curse technique, which is one of the best ones.
My curse technique draws a line along the target and using a ratio of 7:3. Then creates a weak point at exactly that location. I can create this line along more than just their full height or wingspan. And I can designate it along various parts, such as the head, upper arm, forearm, and so on. This curse technique can affect more than just living creatures as well.
He's revealing his technique? You're serious, huh?
At present, the first way I can see to exercise this cursed spirit is to continue damaging him until he runs out of cursed energy. However, that's not sustainable for me. The second way is to reduce him to smithereens with a single blow. Ratio technique, collapse!
What power! Was that really cursed energy I felt racing through it? No way! It's an expanded technique that imbues the destroyed target with cursed energy, and it's a wide range attack that probably puts him at risk too. So, I guess I should dodge this.
I'm going to withdraw. You should get that leg healed up quickly. If we're both still alive, let's meet up again.
私の術式は対象を線分したとき、7対3の比率の点を強制的に弱点とするものです。線分するのは全長やウィングスパンだけではありません。頭部、胴、上腕、前腕などのパーツまで対象として指定できます。そしてこの術式は生物以外にも有効です。
術式の開示。本気だね。
この呪霊の払い方、現時点で考えうるのは一つ。呪霊の呪力が尽きるまでダメージを与え続ける。だがこちらはあまり現実的ではない。二つ目は全身を一撃で粉々にする。頭角呪法ガラガラ。
なんてパワー。いやそれより呪力が走った。まさか破壊した対象に呪力を込める拡張術式。相打ち覚悟の広域攻撃。これはさすがに避けた方がいいかな。
一旦退きます。足早く直した方がいいですよ。お互い生きていたらまた会いましょう。
I like that ending there. I like how you deliver the end. Very matter of factly. Yeah. I'm excited to do mojitos also, just based off what we just heard right there.
I think
the scene makes me sad, but I like it.
Yeah, I think Kenjiro Suda is just top notch.
I found myself getting a little bored in the dub, I think.
It's that one thing that we talked about last time we did this, especially with JJK, when explaining your power makes it stronger, right? Mm-hmm. There's an actually in-canon anime reason why they explain their power to their opponents.
That's when Rito got excited.
He said it sounds like lecturing in English.
Yeah.
I was getting hints of that too. He's just like, it's just... because we don't understand Japanese, it's more intriguing to read the descriptions. Mm-hmm. Whereas in English, because it's our native tongue, we're just like being told
teacher mode.
I mean,
zone out.
I didn't want to say like I found myself getting bored. I was like, oh wait, focus back in for 1 second. I was like, oh, like Yeah, I don't know. The sub is just.
I do think that this scene though brings a lot of like visual intrigue, and so like I'm catching way more of that. Obviously, like not having to read, but like while reading it, I'm like, fuck. But like, well, what is Nanami doing? That looks super cool. Like it looks so cool to watch that it's like it makes it so that for me, some of the animation becomes literally distracting. When he's like, I'm trying to explain my technique, and I'm like, tight, I'm trying to listen. And he's talking about fucking ratios and 7x3. And I'm like, all right, cool, but why are you running around doing cool shit though? Still, like, fuck, man, like, hold on, slow down. Like,
is that an airplane and an apple? Fuck, I missed a word.
Right, yeah, let me.
Mr. Chair. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, chair.
Oh,
God damn it.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I will pick sub, but I will say, I wonder how it would have been if the dub had subtitles. Sadly, Crunchyroll and Funimation don't have subtitles
Why
on
do you
the
want the dub to have
captions.
subtitles?
Captions on subtitles because the way I feel like when they explain, it's still, even though English is my native language, it's still my second language. So in my head, I always kind of unconsciously translate it. So when I'm listening to it, I'm not an auditory learner. I'm a visual learner. So for me, captions help, even though I know they're speaking. I know for you, you need to see the animation. Yeah. For me, I'm seeing the animation. I'm in the animation, and I'm like, what did he say? I didn't hear anything that he said because
when we're capturing
visually
these,
captured.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. When we're capturing these in dub, like the subtitles never show up, but I think that it kind of lends itself better to this discussion because then like that's the advantage the dub has for us. We're natively speaking it mostly, and we can focus on the visuals, which is like the main usual benefit we say in these videos. It's like, we can focus on the top-notch animation. It's just whenever that, like, does the anime lend itself? Is the animation more important, or is like listening to the explanation more important? With JJK, it's like both. So it's hard,
and that's why I call it the test. Put your study caps on, baby. It's pop quiz time.
Literally, go to your class and just pop quiz at the end.
Right.
Runner called Vincent David boring.
David Vincent.
I'm sorry.
Vincent David. It's David Vincent.
Vincent David
Vincent.
Vincent Adult Man.
I'm sorry. I don't think he was boring. I think just like the way there's just a different. Again, you guys, the tone, the delivery, and everything. It does matter. And unfortunately, I did like. I'm just gonna be honest. This is my opinion, and yours might be different, and that's totally okay. But I found myself getting bored in the scene. In the last scene that we watched, I found him funny. I found him just like, it was different. It's just different.
And we're not trying to diss on any voice actors' experience here. Obviously, they're both very talented individuals. It's just what we subjectively prefer.
I think this scene is just what he was provided with, and it just didn't work for me in this particular scene.
Sounds like we prefer sub.
Damn, can I pick? Fuck.
Who are you?
Who are you? What do you want?
Well, first off, I'm gonna pick sub.
Okay. I think Kenjiro Suda personality fits perfectly with what we think Nanami is.
I just think it's because for me, I understood it better in English, but yeah, I mean, I'm being talked at. It's an immediate turn off in my head, but that's like that's like over years and years and years and years and years of show don't tell.
This next scene is simply labeled Daddy Nanami.
Yeah, we all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Wait
for this one.
Faja.
仲間の数と配置は知らない壁仲間の数と配置は知らない仲間の数と配置はだから知らないんだここに来るまで何人もの補助監督が殺されていましたあなたですねごめんなさい
Imagine getting punched to death 3 times.
Yeah. Laughing so hard, Chris. He felt pain. Death.
How many are there? Allies and their locations.
I don't know.
A wall? Number and locations of your allies. Now! The number of your allies and their locations.
I told you, I don't know!
On my way here, I found several of our assistant supervisors dead. That was you, right?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that was so funny.
God.
Oh.
Real quick, because we don't usually interrupt that sequence. Like, they usually see the scenes in their entirety. We were saying that never in any other anime have we felt the hits more than this sequence right here.
It's like a great use of slow motion. Just like you feel every second of it. And like, we all hate this kid for running around here stabbing people, but about towards that third hit, you're like, Jesus, Nanami, slow down.
Yeah,
Nanami. You don't know that you've killed him 3 times, but you did.
Who wants to go first on this one?
It's sub for me and why. I think in the sub, Nanami, that voice actor, just sounded more like, it was just like chilling and murderous and just cool and one-toned. And that made me even more scared that he wasn't like raising his voice and getting angrier with each word. It was just like one, like, I'm here on a mission. I'm going to fuck you up if you don't tell me. I'm not messing around kind of thing. In the dub, I think he did phenomenal. I'm not kidding. I was this close to picking dub because it was so good and I loved every minute of it. But like, it felt like there's one part where he said numbers of Allie's location. He rushed one part. It felt, and he sounded really angry. I know he's trying to deliver the angry part of like Nanami and everything, but in his sub it just felt more like murderous and chilly for me, and that's what I don't know, man. I'm just swear to God, I liked both though, but sub.
Barring that one part that you mentioned where he was like, "Where your allies?" He said real quick, "I'm actually gonna choose dub for this one."
There you go.
Here's why.
I agree. Good.
As far as the dub character's consistency, he has been a little bit like whimsical in a way, or not as serious. So seeing it for the first time here makes it more stark of a contrast than the sub, because he's kind of always serious in the sub. And when you're judging these, I know we're just supposed to listen to the voice actor in question, but it's like a play, right? You kind of have to judge on how they play off of the others in the scene. And whatever his name was, Mr. Under Eyelid Lies person,
Ponytail guy,
Pony guy, you know, he was hilarious in the dub, and I think they played off of each other and made the scene way better.
I'm sorry at the end. Because when he said I'm sorry, I had been taking it that he was being like, I thought he was being like, oh my God, like, like literally, like he's scared. He's like, I'm sorry, but he's like trying to get out of an ass whoop. He's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh no, that was the wrong answer, but like,
which made sense. Which made sense the way he did it in dub, because like his facial expression looked like he's not really sorry. So he's like, I'm sorry.
Will this get me out of it? Yeah, the animation, the way he's drawn when he's, you know, when every girl wanted him to do that, the way he's drawn at that part would elevate any voice actor in the scene. So the visuals in the scene carries a lot of both of the voice actors.
For sure.
I'm gonna say dub for this one.
Yeah, I'm very conflicted on this one, like, because I think the exact reason that you said, because in dub his voice changed compared to how he's normally, it makes him like he's more serious. Like, it doesn't mean that Nanami in sub is not serious, but like, beside him being just like more firm, he's been firm. So in dub, that change was like, okay, oh my God, he is serious, which is what we expected. I did not like the second line that he delivered. The one that Rana mentioned, that was just weirdly done. The first
seemed like it might have been done for time, because like
Probably. Maybe they should
They
have.
had to fit the words
Said
in.
shorter in
words.
Japanese, but he had to say it quickly.
Yeah, maybe they could have used a different sentence that was succinct.
Yeah, he could have just said, how many? He could have just said, how many? And that
yeah.
would've been
Where are they?
Exactly. Because I don't know.
I'm trying not to be biased.
I don't know. I'm trying not to bias. I am biased. I don't know.
So I didn't. All right. I mean, it sounds a little weird, but I took it as like.
Location.
And for me, because I'm gonna pick Dub. I took it as like, you got like a lot of adrenaline, and you're kind of like, you're like riding on it, like you're trying not to. I feel like he's trying to be in control, but that little bit of rush felt like, oh man, like you.
Yeah, like I'm holding back.
And he's holding really tight, and it feels like he's holding back, and he's trying to. Like I took it as in like, oh, slightly like losing control of like what you're trying to say.
I'm biting back.
Yeah, like just because I feel like he wants to drill this motherfucker to the ground, which he's doing slowly, but I feel like he's like holding back from like kind of letting loose, and he's like, listen, location, like he just like said it like too fast. That's how I took it, but
that makes sense.
When you were saying it, it's probably just that those words fit in less space in Japanese. But yeah, it didn't bother me any, and I do like I like the voice. I think that Kendro, I think Kendro did a perfect job. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that like for me, I hear so much of that. Like this sounds different to me. This is like a step apart. Like this dude's voice getting angry is. I feel like in English you can get a lot into like the Batman, where are they? Yeah. And that kind of gets silly, but he never really got there. He kind of kept it right where it's at. And I don't know, I thought it was interesting. I liked it. I'm picking sub.
Sub or dub?
I'm picking dub.
So this was a tie.
Yeah,
you haven't said.
Nubby hasn't gone yet. She might break the tie.
Go break it. Break it.
I think I'm gonna pick dub as well. Yeah, I want to pick sub, but like just the change in the voice and everything.
It makes it more dramatic.
It makes it more dramatic, and just seeing him the other way. But given that's how I picture Nanami with that voice. So when he is not angry, dub Nanami is just A-okay. Compared to sub Nanami.
Damn, she said David Vincent was mid. I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't
We're not
say
saying
that.
any of these people are mid.
No, David Vincent's great. I love Grimjaw.
We should pray for this kid.
Jack.
Last scene.
All right, this is one of Nanami's last stands here before he dies. Actually, right?
Fighting against that bitch-ass bitch.
This one is just called Malaysia.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, so it's just Malaysia.
Damn.
Malaysia. That sounds good. Malaysia, yeah. Kuantan is nice. I'll build a home on a secluded beach. Finally get around to the countless books I bought but never read. I'll go through them page by page, like I'm taking back all the time I've lost. No. Right now, I'm going to save Fushiguro. But what about Maki and Naobito? What happened to those two? I'm tired. Exhausted even. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I've done enough, haven't I? So you're here too.
I've been here the whole time.
マレーシア。そうだな。マレーシア。クアンタンがいい。なんでもない海辺に家を建てよう。買うだけ買って手をつけてない本が山ほどある。1ページずつ今までの時間を取り戻すようにめくるんだ。違う。私は今伏黒君を助けにマキさん、ナオビトさん、2人はどうなった？疲れたな。そう、疲れたんだ。もう十分やったさ。いたんですか？
いたよ。ずっとね。
Dub?
Wow. It's very close.
Dub.
It's very close.
I got chills in dub. I didn't get chills in sub.
They're the same for me.
When you said Malaysia and dub, I was like, oh.
Immediately I knew. I was like, Wow, that's
completely different.
like,
David.
It's a big difference.
Vincent. That's like Vincent David's best performance. That's like why. Like,
why do you keep
like,
saying Vincent?
is it not Vincent David?
David Vincent.
I'm correcting you so many
because
times.
it's Japanese. You know, you say the last name first. I'm trying to, you know, that's my excuse.
Sure.
It's definitely David Vincent for me for this one dub because I think like in the other roles I heard him, he was being funny. I got like being lectured and stuff. I think this is where he truly like excels. I think he shows emotion so well. He portrays emotion so well with his voice acting. I probably should have got chills for both, but I only got chills during the dub.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if I can ever say this again. I've never heard two parts go back to back and be so similar. Like those were
Very
like
close.
spot on tone wise, everything. Like fuck me. Like how I don't know. I'm very impressed by the dub's work to be able to be that good, but it's also only that good because the sub was that good. I felt like he studied that shit, bro. Like he absolutely
I don't know, give him some credit there.
nailed tone, everything.
Again, like a more intense Nanami with various different varieties of intense of Nanami in the sub. Whereas in the
I'm not saying he didn't make it his own.
Different plateaus of this person's range.
I just think that they're both like S tier work. Like they
F
like
plus tier.
So the homie came through and he did his first, right? And it's like boom, it's this good. And like David met that level, like absolutely. And like even like pacing and word choice and all that, like this was probably the closest I think we've ever done a sub v dub that.
Yeah, David came through considering like this was Nanami's.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Sorry,
Commander.
This was like Nanami's last scene, right? Like knowing how everybody's favorite character he had become, like such a quick session, and David Vincent had to come down to it because like Malaysia, just when they first came, it was just such a big deal. It was funny when I was not funny, like it was weird when I was watching the sub, I teared up, but when I was watching the dub, I held my breath. I was like out of breath. I was like, oh my god, this is like just. It felt very similar and different at the same time, but I loved the dub.
I think because it took me by surprise so much, I'm just very impressed by his performance in there. But again,
I gasped.
Kenjiro did amazing also. Like that was because we hadn't quite heard that Nanami yet in the sub, like where he's emotional, kind of reflecting on life, all the books he hasn't read, scripted, and the script is amazing for this part too. Like I don't know, just him lamenting on that.
All the time he gets back.
So hard,
so
man.
hard.
Yeah. Dub for sure. Nope.
I'm picking dub.
100% dub.
I like the line when he says in the end in dub, like, you're here too. Because in the sub, he said, you're here. I was like, you're here too. It's like, of course.
And he knew.
God.
I hate the way he touches his back.
I know. It's like, I've been here the whole time. It's like, my hito.
So, yeah, he's in the sub. I think the grunts were better when he was killing the things at the end, but I'm not judging the scene based on the grunts. I will say dub for this one just because Vincent knocked it out of the park.
I think so.
So did Kenjiro, but he's been knocking it out of the park. Just because I think this is probably Vincent's one of his best performances. I'll have to give it to him.
Yep, this is his best in my opinion for sure.
I mean, just it was, God, so sad. It's such a good. It's just. Nanami is just a goat, man. I can't believe he's.
Are we?
I'm picking dub.
We're dub.
I'm picking dub.
Yeah.
So are we deadlock tie right now?
I think
Sub dub dub.
Dub.
So it's
sub dub dub.
Yeah, sub dub dub.
Sub. Like sub.
Tiebreaker, baby.
Yeah, sub dub.
There's a
dub.
tiebreaker. Yeah, this is a proper death. So when he is talking about what it means to have a proper death.
All right.
Okay.
So this is
the last one.
Going back a bit.
Yeah, this is
our
back.
tiebreaker.
This is a tiebreaker, maybe, but it is also beginning of JJK, so it might.
Well, let's see.
We'll see. You know, we got to pick something for a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I couldn't
Already
find
seen the
something
major
funny
scenes.
with Nanami, sadly.
He's not really.
Is that a very funny?
guy.
Yeah, right. Very serious guy.
I think the introduction was the funniest thing ever.
All right, it all comes down to this, guys. We're in OT. Let's go.
The last one.
安静にしてろと言われたでしょ
説教
命を助けてもらった相手に説教もクソもないでしょ
俺が
継ぎはぎの術式は他人の魂に干渉する君が領域に侵入したことでスクナの魂に触れてしまったのでしょうおかげで助かりました
でも俺変わってねえよ
スクナが出たのではなく奴が入ったんです
じゃあ助けたのは俺じゃないこいつの気まぐれだ正しい死って何
そんなこと私にだってわかりませんよ善人が安らかに 悪人が罰を受け死ぬことが正しいとしても、世の中の多くの人は善人でも悪人でもない。死は万人の執着ですが、同じ死は存在しない。それらを全て正しく導くというのはきっと苦しい。私はお勧めしません。などと言っても、君はやるのでしょうね。死なない程度にしてくださいよ。今日君がいなければ私が死んでいたように、君を必要とする人がこれから大勢現れる。虎杖君はもう呪術師なんですから。
You were told to rest, weren't you?
Is this my lecture?
I have no lecture at all to give you. You're the one who saved my life.
I saved you?
That Patchwork's cursed technique is interfering with the soul. Because you invaded his expansion domain, he wound up inadvertently touching Sukuna's soul. I was saved because of that.
But I never swapped out with Sukuna.
Sukuna never came out. Our opponent went in.
Then it wasn't me who saved you. It was just Sukuna's whim. What is a proper death?
I don't know what that is either. Even if all good people properly died in peace and all evil people were punished in death, the problem would be that most people in this world are neither all good nor all evil. Death is the final destination for all of us, but no one dies the same death. Guiding all of them to their proper end would be quite arduous. I personally wouldn't recommend it. I know you won't listen. You'll still try, won't you? I hope you don't get killed in the process. And just as I would have died today if you hadn't been there, you'll see that there are plenty of other people yet to come who are going to need you too. Just remember, Itadori, you're a Jujutsu sorcerer now.
I would like to go fast.
I
go
like
for it.
Yeah, go on.
I want to give it to Dub.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Felt very, I don't know, reminded me of like some of my teachers, very teacherly, very soothing and kind of lectury at the same time, but like in a way that I think a teacher's supposed to be. Like, I don't know, he felt very, very teacherly in that moment. I guess I don't think of much of a teacher, think of much of an ass whooper, but yeah, I don't know, felt like actual instructions. I like that.
What about you?
I like that this was a good scene to end on because it bookended him. The first scene saying, "You're not I don't think you're a Jujutsu sorcerer, by the way." Right? Did he say that?
Yeah.
And at this one, he's like, "You're a Jujutsu sorcerer now." Like, he saved my life. I don't know. And then talking about death, obviously, we've seen his death now. This is a hard one, man. I think I'm gonna have to go with the sub because even for the same reasons you say, I just interpreted it more teacherly in the sub. Actually, yeah, like he was I see like the disgruntled old sensei finally giving the youngin his respect.
I was literally gonna say that.
Like,
not the sensei and youngin. I was gonna say felt like there was a finally respect because from the first scene we saw him like, you're not a sorcerer and all that stuff. Here he acknowledges what he's going through because even the first scene we saw, this is like Sukuna, like, oh, you're just like, what did he say?
Bomb.
A ticking time bomb for Sukuna. And but here he acknowledges like the domain and like somebody went in and I don't know. Yeah,
that's not to say I don't think David Vincent sounded like he was finally acknowledging respect. Also, they both hit that mark.
Yeah.
I just think Kenjiro, it just really suits him more. It's really suits.
Yeah, sub for me too. Honestly,
yeah, I will say sub as well. I think.
Just barely edged out.
I think the reason why is because the way I see Nanami is that, the serious voice, which is why him, when he was doing Malaysia scene, the dub and Daddy Nanami, like the way they was serious, I think dub won by chance because like its personality, the way I see Nanami as a personality wise, is more serious tone through and through. That being said, I did not like Yuji in dub. For some reason, Itadori in dub was weird. But
what's a proper death?
He just sounds like anime protagonist to me.
Good. Yeah, that's
like default anime
Well, what is a proper death, Kakashi Sensei?
Explains it fully.
I guess I never thought of Nanami as like a teacher, really. I mean, I remember watching this scene, but I wasn't getting like, oh, teacher vibes. But like now having everything in retrospect, I feel like, oh yeah, like he's trying to educate the young
I can
man.
see why you would say that in dub though too. Yeah. This was a good one.
Yep.
This was a really good one.
So sub wins.
Sub has won.
I think barely edged it out, right?
Yeah.
By one deciding vote.
You know what they say? A dub is a dub.
A dub is a dub.
Dub
And
is a dub.
this episode's dub goes to the sub.
But there is an I, Kenjiro.
Oh,
Kenjiro. So
Kenjiro.
Kenjiro.
It's still kind of like Kenjiro. Like it's like
yeah,
it's a quick.
Kenjiro.
Is he in a
Tanjiro.
band?
He is. He was
I don't know,
an
but my
actor.
man looks cool. I want to see him in like Squid
He's
Game
in a
season 2 or
band.
something.
Isn't
Even though
he?
he's Japanese, not Korean. I want to see him
maybe.
in something.
Well, how about we see you guys down in the comments and let us know what you thought about this one. Who was your favorite? Who
Yeah.
won? Sub or dub in your mind? All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.